back to the Film Buds podcast. This is episode number 002, and today we're going to be reviewing Michael Bay's Transformers: The Last Knight, and then we're going to be doing what we call a retro review of Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim. And what a retro review is we're going to be doing occasionally when there's an open space for another review, we're going to be just tackling some older film that has a vague connection to the newer release. And so in this case, it's another robot fighting aliens, monsters movie, but it's far superior to the one to Transformers. So, and of course, my name is Henry Faherty, and I'm joined today by our good buddy Braden Stone. Braden, thank you so much for being here.
Absolutely, I'm like a bad rash now. You can't get rid of
I
me.
know, right? And sadly today we are. It is just us two for the time being because our other host Will Davies was unable to make it, at least so far. He may come in the middle, but we'll see. Just due to scheduling, but he will be here next week, as well as another guest host who will be coming on over Skype, so you can look forward to that. But anyways, Braden, how you doing today?
Pretty good. It's actually a very moderate temperature here in the wonderful state of North Carolina, so I'm not sweating.
Yeah.
Always a good day when I don't sweat excessively.
Well, I'm a little stressed out. It's been a kind of a long fucking week,
Yeah, I've had a busy past few days, but it's been a good busy, not a bad busy.
Yeah.
So it's been interviews and productive work and that kind of thing, and not colonoscopies.
Sure.
So.
Yeah, that's always fun. All right. So we have a few things to get to today afterwards. After the reviews, we have a few discussion topics and big surprise here. We have our first listener question, or in other words, just not a question sent in by one of our friends. We actually have a real fan question that I got a few days ago, and so that's awesome. And so we'll be getting to that in a little bit. But other than that, Braden, got anything else to talk about? Want to bring up?
At the moment, no. I'm sure other things will come to me when we get into it. But
sure.
But no. At the moment, no. I mean, it's right now. I'm just biting my tongue about Transformers because I really want to just.
Mm-hmm. What better way to relieve some stress than to talk about a Michael Bay movie?
Exactly.
Oh, and just a fun fact: we are recording in the Chelsea Theater, which is the independent theater right next to the coffee shop I work at, and is owned by the father of Braden. And so just if there's any weird sounds, then it's because we're in a movie theater right now. It is empty, but still, just in case you hear anything, we're outside a walkway, so you may get some chatter, but hopefully that won't happen. But all right, well, without much anything else to talk about, let's get into Transformers, and we've got a clip, excuse me, not a tip. Let's take a listen.
You want to know, don't you? Why they keep coming here to Earth.
Where are the others? The ones you're hiding?
I lost all our friends.
Your world is dying. Optimus Prime. Do you seek redemption?
My maker, I do.
All right. Transformers: The Last Knight is directed by Michael Bay, stars Mark Wahlberg, Anthony Hopkins, Laura Haddock, Isabella Moner, and amongst many others. And Braden, you want to give us the plot synopsis?
Sure. Here, according to IMDb, Autobots and Decepticons are at war, with humans on the sidelines. Optimus Prime is gone. The key to saving our future lies buried in the secrets of the past, in the hidden history of Transformers on Earth.
Thank you. That was wonderful. Lovely. All right. So, Braden, what did you think of this piece of shit movie?
I mean, I concur. Piece of shit. I mean, what more can you say about it? I mean, since the first film, which was actually kind of fun, it's just been just a downhill slog. Every film seems to, oddly enough, this one bucked a trend, but it seems that every 15 minutes added onto the film, it goes down another 10% in terms of, quantitative. If you're looking at it like 100%, 90%, it just seems to go down every time they tack on 15 minutes. Oddly, this film was shorter, but
Barely.
also worse.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just
It felt
barely
longer.
shorter.
It felt much longer.
Yeah, it was certainly a fair chunk of out of my day, and
A complete waste of time.
yeah, that colonoscopy I mentioned earlier would have been.
You wish you could have done that
Yeah,
instead. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so for me, so now there's nothing wrong with liking dumb blockbusters. Like that's, I like a lot of dumb blockbusters. That's
Yeah.
fine.
Mm-hmm.
But this film reaches a new level.
Yeah.
Like it is to the point of being so needlessly dumb and lazy that it's like incomprehensibly terrible.
Yeah.
It's hard to even process how much he just throws 1,000 ideas at you at once, mixed with terrible dialogue, just bad performances. It looks terrible for one thing.
Right.
The visuals, sometimes Michael Bay can create an interesting visual style with slow motion and there's plenty of slow motion in this as always, but it's just visually it's terrible. I think.
Most of the slow motion involving Laura Haddock, I think, is
Yeah. Oh, for one thing, so Laura Haddock, who I don't think I've seen in anything else.
No.
Is she like a Megan Fox lookalike doppelganger?
Well, that was a funny thing I was going to say is it seemed like there's so much crap thrown in. It's like Frankenstein's monster, the movie, because I'm watching this and then you get that horrible Guy Ritchie King Arthur piece of shit.
Yeah.
That was at the beginning of the summer. So not only do you get robots, but then you get King Arthur, right? And then you get Tomb Raider, because there's a proper British lady who's running around with giant robots now, and so you get and it's like Frankenstein's monster, the film.
Yeah.
It was like Michael Bay decided he's going to take a lot of outtake footage from other shitty films and splice it all together and make like uber shitty film.
Yeah, definitely. And I'll say the first couple of minutes, I was really enjoying myself. Like it was this very dark, intense medieval fight, and I love history, and so I was a sucker for that. But then Stanley Tucci, just god awful. Stanley Tucci comes in playing the wizard Merlin, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And if for listeners who don't know, in the fourth movie, which was Age of Extinction, he plays a modern day character, and he was actually semi-entertaining in that, just because I feel like he knew it was bad. And in this, it's the writing is terrible. It's not at all. It's not funny.
No.
It's like they make him out to be this big drunk who is about to go save everybody, I guess, and then
he's just sort of a drunken womanizer. He's an absolute just low-life scum liar, and somehow he happens across ancient Transformers, and then he makes this impassioned plea to them, and somehow they decide this drunken womanizing piece of crap is worthy of Transformer technology, and so they bestow it upon him, and he goes and saves Kara. I mean, it's I don't, it's difficult to put into words because it's so mind-bogglingly
bad. Yeah, and dumb. And Michael Bay has the sense of I'll get into his humor in just a second, but he has the mindset of a 12-year-old. He can put a movie together, but he does it in such a way that, and he seems so, when you see him in interviews and with all these movies he's doing, he seems like he cares about it. But then it just doesn't show at all in what the movie he makes.
See, that's the thing, is he's impassioned, and it's like giving a 5-year-old several hundreds of millions of dollars worth of budget to make robot movies.
Yeah.
Because if you ever listen to him speak, I mean, he's thoroughly inarticulate, but even that aside, it's he's got all these grand visions, but the problem is it's too much.
Yeah.
Pare it down a little bit. And I mean, that was a lot of the issue that I had with the film, is setting aside the mythology thing, the Arthurian mythology thing, which I'll get back to that eventually.
Right.
But the film starts off, and I actually thought it was interesting when it started off, because here you've got the Cade Yeager, the Mark Wahlberg character, and he's running around trying to provide refuge and assistance to these Autobots who are hiding out from this angry global security force that's tracking them down and destroying them. And he happens across a young Hispanic teenage girl who, one of the first times a female was sort of given character and not treated as sort of an object, sort of sexy time, fun lady.
And that's Isabel Moner, I think her name is. And I thought she was decent, actually, her performance, but just the writing is not very good.
Well, see, that's the thing is I was hoping to see more of the relationship because, okay, his daughter's off to college and now he's got this other sort of surrogate daughter and she lost her parents. And so I thought, okay, obviously this isn't a human interest film. It's a big robots fighting film.
Yeah.
But at least they could have some sort of human bonding, friendship kind of thing. And then the relationship between the two of them and the Autobots. And I thought that would be interesting. But then, 15, 20 minutes, and then she's completely out of the film. And all of a sudden, it's Anthony Hopkins and sexy time fun lady Laura Haddock.
Yeah.
And her, as Mark Wahlberg puts it, stripper dress.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So Michael Bay, if his humor wasn't so present in his movies, it wouldn't be that bad of an issue for me. But I think he has some the worst sense of humor of any Hollywood director out there. Like it feels so sexist, and it's always stems from or starts with characters degrading others. And so, like the rich people, they're going to make fun of poor people because they have more money. Or Mark Wahlberg in this movie tries to make fun of Laura Haddock's education because she has I guess a doctorate in history, something like that.
Oxford,
so the way he thinks he can charm her is by just making fun of your education isn't important. I'm an inventor. I'm cool.
Yeah, well, see, that's the thing that gets me is like the sexual dynamics between the two of them. It's like 5-year-olds on a playground. I hate you. No, I hate you. You're a stupid poo-poo head.
Yeah.
And then they eat some sushi and they're supposed to fall in love or something. I mean, it's such a puerile way to approach human relationships. And so that's the thing is, I was hoping there would be something a little more complex or sophisticated in terms of the relationship between the young Isabella character and Kate Yeager, and the two of them and their sympathy for the Autobots, and they get along, and she seems sort of like a tough as nails, taught herself all this stuff, and and then nothing happened with it. She drops out of the film for pretty much the entire center of the film. So she's there at the very beginning for about 20-30 minutes, and then she's gone for an hour or more, and then she sort of pops in again later in the film, sort of.
And there's the awful scene we were talking about yesterday where so they take over a submarine. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah,
how they do
submarine chases.
It's ridiculous. So somehow they get a submarine off of a memorial site or something, and then they launch it into the ocean.
Yeah, it was the British Naval History Museum.
I guess the mini transformer that they're with can operate it. I guess he's super smart or something.
Yeah,
doesn't make.
Don't even get me started on that character.
Fucking brutal.
Yeah, it was terrible. I mean, the Cogman character, I wasn't quite sure what he was supposed to be. I mean, he starts off as sort of a prissy, prim British butler type, and then he turns into this like angry Jekyll and Hyde, Two-Faced, and he's choking out Kate Yeager, and it's all very strange.
Yeah. And
the only moment of levity in the film, the only time that I actually had a bit of a chuckle was the interplay between Anthony Hopkins and the weird Cogman character.
Yeah.
The little bit where he's talking about the Arthurian legend and Cogman's, on the organ. And
That
was a little fun.
It was decent. It was semi-laughable.
Yeah, it was a little fun, but then after that, then it goes back into the slog fest, which is Michael Bay and his highly saturated visual effects.
And it's like, so his tone in all his movies is all over the place. Like, he'll take the plot and the characters very, very seriously, then he just injects that, the bad humor with the love interest and everything, and it just completely ruins any effect to have things sink in,
I will say this is the first film, this could possibly be the first film in the Transformers franchise, where there's more class stereotypes instead of racial stereotypes.
Yeah.
Instead of having like horribly racially stereotyped robots running around, he just has these sort of classist kind of dynamics. You know, the prissy upper class,
Which is
British
just as bad.
and the rough and tumble self-taught American self-starter guy.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's blech.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly.
don't go there. Get out of that. It's
Yeah, but so I mean, there's in the fourth one, I guess it starts. There's the Irish, the very stereotypical Irish Transformer, and then in the fourth one and in this one there's the stereotypical or very typical like cliche Japanese.
the
guy.
Japanese Bushido warrior
Yeah.
samurai.
And then there's the John Goodman Transformer who has a beard
Yeah.
and a cigar.
And he's supposed to be supposed to have a big gut, and I guess he's sort of like G.I. Joe
Yeah.
Sergeant Burly guy or something.
And did you notice Steve Buscemi was a voice?
Yes, Day Trader.
Actually, I didn't mind him, but he should like those kind of goofy characters could work. But then he's gone after 5 minutes.
Yeah, which I don't understand. That seemed like a wholly innovative character, but then poof, gone, right? And it's back to this sort of sleek, stylized Transformers that sort of dominate the films.
But they're not even in this movie that much.
Well, that's the thing that killed me is the first films, right? Particularly the first one. It's actually kind of fun because you see the bond forming between the human character, the Shia LaBeouf character, and the Transformers.
And I'd say that's very much like because Spielberg is an executive producer on all these movies, which is baffling. And I'm sure he just does money because he gets a ton of money back. So that's not, I don't judge him for that. But I think since he always has that paternal child relationship in all of his movies, I think that first one in particular feels slightly Spielbergian because, but anyway, go on.
Oh no, and that's the thing is it's interesting to see these.
Oh shit! Sorry, we got a customer coming up to the window and knocking on the door. We're good though.
The earlier films are all.
All right, sorry about that. We had a gentleman coming to knock on the door of the Chelsea Theater, complaining that it wasn't open, even though we don't have matinees on Tuesdays. So, anyways, Braden, what were you saying?
Oh, but the earlier films was what made them somewhat interesting, relatable, worth watching is the bond, the relationship forming between these human characters and the robots. And I mean the love interest stuff. I mean that could just completely be thrown. Who cares?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Nobody.
I want to see this relationship between these alien robots and the people who are trying to sort of wrap their minds around.
Yeah.
And so that's what made the first few films interesting. That was not even present
At all.
in this film.
No.
I mean, the robots felt, and I mean, it very obviously were servile to the humans in this. I mean, you look at the Cogman character again, who's just a train wreck of a character, but who just for I guess centuries has served this ancient family of blah blah Anthony Hopkins ancestors and so forth. And there's no bonds forming. There's no relationship forming between the people and.
No, they're just characters with each other. They're not together, quote unquote.
And so that's the thing is there's no relationships that really at all worth looking at in the film. Is the relationships between people and the robots completely absent. The relationships between the young Isabella character and Kate Yeager could be fascinating. Drops out of the film, and then the love interest thing comes in, and again, it's so overshadowed by the fact that it relies on these really sort of banal class stereotypes.
Do you think his producers like it? I feel like although I know he's made them a lot of money. Do you think they just watch this and they're like, God, this is really bad, or they're like, you do what you want to do, Michael Bay. We know you're going to make a bunch of money. Although this one actually isn't doing that
Yeah, the
great.
opening was pretty small from what I hear.
but-
It's, what, 47 million or something
Something
like
like that, yeah, domestically. I'm sure it'll do a ton in China, like
Yeah.
it did with the last one. But I feel like they should at least say something. Like 5 films in now, and they're like, let's take some of this out.
that? Yeah.
You know?
Well, I
and-
remember reading something. Mark Wahlberg seemed to be. He didn't say, "Yeah, I'm so glad to finally be done with this," but he intimated. He said something along.
He
the
was
lines
like,
of,
I think he said, I can get my life
I
back.
can get my
now."
life back. Exactly.
So,
Yeah. So I wonder if he gets paid commensurate with just how awful the film is.
probably. I'm sure he's getting he got a ton of royalties from Age of Extinction. Because
Yeah.
that made $1 billion, I think.
Yeah.
So,
And
just
they make,
fucking ridiculous.
They make boatloads of cash.
Yeah.
They make boatloads of cash, but
And yeah, but like in terms of the editing, this was so horribly, even more than usual with Michael Bay, terribly edited and directed. Like there would be scenes, it would just cut right out in the middle, 20 minutes go by, then it cuts back to that same scene, like the scene with the Medusa space creature, you know who I'm talking about?
Quintessa.
Like she had a conversation with Optimus Prime. 20 minutes go by or so. Then it just cuts back to that same scene, and they're just still talking. And it's just like these things jump from one thing to another. No pace. It's just incoherent. And
well, that's what got me about the sort of the big battle scene at the beginning of the film.
was that the medieval one?
Not the medieval one. The one where the TRF. I mean, and the plot gets so convoluted.
Yeah.
It gets so convoluted.
Very, very.
So this TRF force, which is, I guess, Transformer Reconnaissance Force, the force which is tasked with hunting down and destroying Transformers across the planet. These TRF guys, they don't know where the Transformers are. And then they do know where the Transformers are. And then they decide they're going to put together, they're going to give Megatron all these bad, evil Decepticons that he wants, and then they're going to give him the location of the Autobots to go hunt them down. And then the TRF guys can use this to get hold of Cade Yeager and this ancient piece of technology that he somehow has happened across. And so it gets so convoluted, right? This plot gets so convoluted, and they go through this whole thing. It's like the Dirty Dozen when he's assembling his team. He's like, Megatron says, "I want this guy," and okay, well we'll release him.
Yeah.
I want this guy. He's too bad. We can't release him. So they make this. The funny thing about it is they make this whole big deal about these evil Decepticons and how horrible these guys are. Big scary war criminals, and then they show up, and most of them get killed in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
No one feels invested in it. It's just
Yeah.
Go on. Yeah.
No, but the fight scene I was talking about is the one right after they release the Decepticons and they go to
Is that like
Cade
on the
Yeager.
streets? Or
Yeah,
something?
it's in that abandoned town.
Yeah.
And-
Incoherent. Absolutely incoherent
Yeah,
scene.
what was going on?
I don't know.
Because you
Don't
got
know.
the robots out in the street fighting, and then you got drones flying after Cade Yeager and Isabella, and I don't even know who that other guy was. Who was he?
Which one?
The young fellow with the glasses.
Oh, I don't know. I couldn't tell you.
I mean, this character shows up.
No one, you just couldn't give less of a fuck about anyone in
Yeah,
this. You know,
I mean,
it's
you
just,
don't feel at all invested.
like
in these.
either give them something to do or cut them out.
Yeah.
You know, and John Turturro, who was in the first 3, just
First
pops
4.
up. He was in the 4th one.
He's in the.
Oh God.
Yeah.
He just comes back randomly, serves no purpose.
He's hanging out in Cuba drinking mojitos.
Yeah, you could cut that character out.
Yeah.
You could. I think even John Malkovich shows up There's like one scene that looked very much like John Malkovich, just so they could give him
Look, John Malkovich again.
Yeah, and it's just all these characters who serve no purpose. They're boring. They're unlikable and annoying. That's the thing. Michael Bay characters are annoying. That's really the only thing that makes them somewhat memorable.
Yeah.
Usually,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Yeah, and one thing in terms of his direction, there's no sense of geography. I mean, this goes with being incoherent, but I can never tell where anyone is, especially in that last climactic fight, which is so kind of spectacle driven. Like Michael Bay, he just wants to make a spectacle, make it feel epic, and it's so beyond being able to process what you're seeing. These huge spaceships going all around, these soldiers on the ground trying to fight it, and they go to Stonehenge also. and it's all right.
Movie theaters.
We promise we're not peeing.
That's really not the bathroom. That's the ice machine drainage. Promise, cross my fingers.
All right. So yeah,
But-
listeners, we hope we apologize for any issues here. We're getting started, so we really apologize. But anyways, let's go on.
First and last time recording at the Chelsea Theater, probably.
Yeah.
But then they go down in the sub, and then they find the wrecked alien spaceship. Where the hell is the wrecked alien spaceship? Who the hell knows?
Don't
Okay,
know.
right? And then, so you've got the wrecked alien spaceship, and then the wrecked alien spaceship comes up, and Optimus Prime is all angry and brainwashed, and but yeah, you've got this massive alien ship, and it's underwater somewhere, and you don't know where. And then the TRF guys show up. Where the hell were they this whole time? All of a sudden, they've got this massive operation, and they're following the submarine down. They've got deep sea vehicles, and Michael Bay loves his jargon. He only ever refers to things with like 3-letter terms. I don't know.
Yeah, that's weird. Yes, that's the secret military force.
Right. The
Something
TRF, and they all ride around in DSVs, and they've got.
At the end, they all take off their badge.
Yeah.
Like, no, we're good now.
We're good now. We like the Transformers.
Yeah.
It's you never quite follow what's going on.
Not at all.
You can never quite follow what's going on, and I mean that fight scene at the beginning of the film. There are just these massive gaps in time and location, and they're somewhere in where was it, South Dakota, the Badlands, and where is that, South Dakota, North Dakota, one of the
Sometimes,
Dakotas.
yes.
And then they're driving along, and they're in some rundown city, and then they're having a massive battle in the rundown city, and it's just an absolute, you never know where all these guys came from, what they're doing. The Decepticons are there, the TRF is there, there's a bunch of drones, and Josh Duhamel is standing around looking studly. I mean, that's
Yeah.
who's he, what is his character, and why is he in all the films anyways?
But yeah, so it's. I mean, I guess we can get close to wrapping this up, but it's definitely worst movie. I think this and Rough Night are probably the 2 worst movies of the year. I'd say this is probably the worst of the franchise. I mean, 2 is known for being the worst, but I would rather watch the 4th one, which was 165 fucking minutes.
Yeah.
Than rather than this. Even at least that was to a point of being dumb where it was kind of charming at times.
Yeah.
But then this one is so it's not memorable. It's not funny. It's so dumb that it's annoying, and it's.
Well, that's the
hated
thing
watching
is, Age of Extinction, at least, you get to get your fanboy geek on with Optimus Prime riding around on giant dinosaur robots.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
And this one, you don't get anything like that. You get the Mecha Ghidra giant 3-headed robot dragon at the beginning of the film, which is kind of fun.
That was cool.
And then
It's
that
gone.
disappears. You don't see it anymore.
Nope.
Where the hell did that go?
Just a little teaser from Bay.
But yeah, I mean, it's too scattered of a film, and it's all over the place, and it's just borrowing tropes from every other. It's just a horrible train wreck of a film. There's no interesting relationships to become invested in. There's no real the confrontation, I guess, centers on Quintessa poisoning Optimus Prime, and he comes back to suck all the life force out of
Yeah, I didn't
Earth
follow that at all.
to restart Cybertron. What was all of that?
I don't know.
I mean,
I
see,
couldn't care less about it. I couldn't follow it. I didn't know what was going on. So
yeah, and then there's that plot, and then there's the TRF hunting down the Transformers plot, and then there's the love interest Cade Yeager and British lady plot, and I mean, too much going on.
Yeah.
Not enough fleshed out to actually pull the viewer into it. It's mostly just a vehicle for lots and lots of special effects.
Yeah, and there's a couple of very short things, but so they bring up the term BBW in this. because there are these aristocratic, very fancy, classy women, and just because Michael Bay is just such a funny guy, he feels the need to make them like have these weird sex-driven dreams, and tries to get the love interest of Mark Wahlberg to find a guy who has a dungeon, and they bring up the BBW term, which is just gross and unnecessary.
Yeah.
And then there's lines like where Bumblebee stabs someone and he's like stings like a bee, and it's just stuff like that is, we don't need to get into it too much, but but even though this one isn't doing as well as the others, they are doing a cinematic universe, quote unquote, of Transformers / Hasbro movies, and so there's going to be one a year now. So next year we're getting the Bumblebee spinoff, which is a prequel apparently to the first one, but it's being directed by Travis Knight, who is the CEO of Laika. And he also directed Kubo and the Two Strings.
Oh,
yeah,
Laika. Okay,
yeah,
really.
And so I was just like, oh, okay, because I think Bay is a producer on it, like an executive producer, but so he's directing it, and then they have a different writer as well. But they've hired this huge writer's room to craft out all these movies. I actually have some of them here, some place. But so the guys who wrote this one was Art Markham, Matt Holloway, and Ken Nolan. Two of them wrote the first Iron Man, and then Nolan wrote Black Hawk Down. And then some of the other ones, a lot of these people are new writers. And so there's...
Well, my question is, how do you go from writing something like Iron Man, which the first film was quite good,
to doing this
and then Black Hawk Down, which is a brilliant film.
Awesome.
It's just a remarkable film.
Yeah.
To writing this train wreck of I mean, it's just garbage.
Yeah.
I mean, the story is just all over the place. It's almost like they took all these writers, and instead of having them work collaboratively, they locked them all in different rooms and said, Here's 50 pages of paper, write something. And then the guys wrote different scripts, and then they just sort of stapled them together. And they threw all the pages up in the air, and then took them in that order, and stapled them together, and there's the script. Right?
Yeah.
So...
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, and they're doing like the same thing for the Sherlock Holmes sequel. They have like a bunch of writers for that. Then they've hired the writers for the Godzilla, King Kong universe.
Oh,
yeah. They have a huge writer's room for that, and it's just like, this is the new thing. And even though some of them have no experience, like, hey, I mean, I'm sure as a writer, that's awesome. Like, hey, I haven't done anything, or like I've done an indie script, and now I have 6 projects that I get to be a part of. That'd be fucking awesome. Yeah. But in terms of the quality of the movies, that's not always the best choice.
Yeah.
And they're doing that for the same thing with the Mummy and the Invisible Man. I think they have a bunch of kind of interconnected writers who are all crafting those. But
right.
So yeah,
I mean, that's another one. Is the Mummy supposed to be kicking off the monster film, the Universal monster film? That's a horrible. I haven't had the opportunity to see it yet. Then again, I probably don't want to see it.
It's not as bad as this for sure. It's semi-watchable, but it's nothing that good.
Yeah, but I've heard it's a pretty bad piece of. That's not a good way to start a film franchise.
Not at
so
all.
We obviously need to revisit that.
Yeah, it's just a absolute disappointment. And Bay says he's done with Transformers, which I hope he is. But yeah,
I guess other than a producer capacity for the spin-off films, which. Now
again,
spin-off films. Why?
We don't need it.
We really don't. The only thing that might interest me is if this is a whole Hasbro thing, hybridizing Battleship with Transformers, and we get giant transforming battleships. I mean, that would be fun. I mean, come on, massive transforming battleships.
Yeah, that would be cool. But all right, well, let's wrap this puppy up. I guess we can, rate this out of 4 stars like we did in the first episode. So, Braden, what are you going to give this thing?
I don't know. I wouldn't give it an absolute 0. The special effects are still sort of dazzling every now and again. There are a few bits that made me laugh. I'd probably give it maybe a half a star, 3/4 of a star if I can go that low. If I can go below a full star,
I'll just go 1. I mean, I don't. It was bad.
There were a few semi-redeeming moments in the film. Again, Cade's relationship with the young Isabella character, I liked her character a lot, and I thought that was going to be interesting. And of course, it fell out of the film, and that ruined a lot of it. And the special effects, in a Michael Bay film are obviously very special. Plus, I get more than my quotient of explosions. So,
of course, that's the best part.
Michael Bay explosions. But
not as much product placement in this, though. Not as much, right?
Was there?
Just not as much. I guess there wasn't like as much as the fourth one, anyways. So, anyways.
What is it? I mean, honestly, I catch those things, but I don't know if I even saw any product.
There was a couple, but not much.
Oh, huh.
Yeah.
I should have paid closer attention.
Oh yeah, you missed out.
But I mean, for the special effects and for moments hints at something deeper than purely noise and explosions and swords and lasers, I'll give it a half, 3/4 of a star.
Yeah.
Somewhere around there.
I'll just go one, light one. It's very bad, and I mean, it's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I don't know if I'd rather watch this or Rough Night. Probably Rough Night, just because it's an hour shorter.
Yeah.
But yeah, so all right. Well, hope you enjoyed that one. And we're going to be talking about a much better movie now.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to be talking about Guillermo del Toro's Pacific Rim from 2013. So we've got a clip. Again, I messed it up. That's number 2.
Tips and clips.
Yeah, tips and clips. Let's take a listen.
I need a pilot.
I'm guessing that wasn't your first choice.
But I'm a big believer in second chances.
Do you have a visual? Over! Let's do this together!
All right. Pacific Rim is directed by Guillermo del Toro, stars Charlie Hunnam, Idris Elba, Charlie Day, Rico Kikuchi, amongst a few others. And Braden, you got that plot synopsis for us?
Yeah, here, IMDb, it says, as a war between humankind and monstrous sea creatures wages on, a former pilot and a trainee are paired up to drive a seemingly obsolete special weapon in a desperate effort to save the world from the apocalypse.
All right. So the first thing I wanted to bring up, and mostly just because this is a quote-unquote retro review, is that on paper these movies are basically alike, or it's, someone not knowing what either one was and just read a plot synopsis. They're okay. These are the same movie.
Giant
Pretty
robot
much,
films.
yeah. But it's vastly superior. It's directed better. Like Guillermo del Toro's direction is way more interesting, way more fun. Visuals it's very colorful, which compared to Transformers: The Last Night, is great because Transformers is very washed out and dull looking, whereas this is feels very inspired. And all the designs of the Jaegers, like Cade Yeager from Transformers, that's kind of funny.
Spelled differently, but...
Yeah. It just feels very inspired. The robots are great. The monsters are interesting. And like even in terms of being coherent, there's a scene at the opening where they're fighting some monsters in the ocean at night, and it's raining, and it looks fantastic. You can tell exactly what's going on. Mm-hmm. Geography is great, and just even small touches like that is so much better than how Michael Bay would do it, I think.
Yeah. Well, again, so much of the editing with the big fights was disastrous. You never had any concept of place where these guys fighting, what's going on, which is interesting because you had the whole big battle in Chicago confrontation, which was what, the third film, the third film, yeah.
third, yeah.
And then the fourth one, you had also again a sense of place because here they are fighting in Hong Kong. The fifth film, Last Night, it's just you're completely lost. You don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Other than all of a sudden they're at Stonehenge and you go, okay, it's Stonehenge. But before that, it could be anywhere. Yeah. There's water, there's some buildings.
And why Stonehenge? Like, wouldn't it be so cool to have something at Stonehenge?
Robots at Stonehenge.
Yeah, connected mythology. Ooh. Yeah. But yeah, so I think it's it's because he doesn't write because he doesn't write the movies, but he's self-aware that his movie is cliched. There's like the kind of the gung-ho soldiers, there's very archetypal characters that, there's nothing brilliant, but in terms of how he does it, it's interesting and fun. And then also the performances are pretty decent. Like Idris Elba, who's awesome.
Idris Elba, who's amazing.
From Luther and what else?
He did Beasts of No Nation.
Beasts of No Nation, yeah.
But then I mean, in terms of his other acting credits.
Jungle Book. He did the voice of the Jungle Book.
Yeah, he was Heimdall in the Thor series.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's still still doing that.
So, which I wish there was more of him in that.
Mm-hmm.
And what I'm really looking forward to seeing him in is Roland Deschain in the upcoming Dark Tower.
Oh yeah, that's
films.
right. Yeah, that's the big one that's coming up.
So I was really ecstatic about the casting of him in that film because he's spectacular as a Roland character.
And then going against Matthew McConaughey, that's because McConaughey is back, and so he's doing good work.
Yeah, he's doing good work, and he's playing Randall Flagg, Captain Trips. I have read actually the full Dark Tower series. It's one of my favorite series by Stephen King. So he plays the Man in Black character, Matthew McConaughey, and I mean the casting, it couldn't be better. Idris Elba, Matthew McConaughey, so good. So really looking forward to that. But I mean, Idris Elba always fantastic, and he was definitely worth watching in Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
I mean, the acting. Mark Wahlberg, honestly, he's always good. I do enjoy him. I wish he would have better parts. But he's a good actor. I mean, he's very solid all around.
But he doesn't do anything that much in the Transformer. I mean, he's just a character.
No, I mean,
straight
it's
guy.
just, well, I mean, again, I think that speaks to the weakness of the writing and the direction and not so much the acting.
Whereas is Charlie Hunnam in Pacific Rim, he's kind of the same thing, but again, it's just feels more self-aware of what they are.
Yeah.
And I think Charlie Hunnam is interesting. Have you noticed in that movie, or I mean Pacific Rim, and I guess in some of his other things as well as King Arthur, he has an odd walk. It's like this almost overly macho type of walk, like he swings his arms really,
swaggery type thing.
Very defined, and it's just, I don't know, it's interesting. Anyways, but yeah, so it's one thing that Michael Bay can do, but I think he fails mostly, whereas I think Del Toro succeeds with Pacific Rim is scale. And there's the shots where like the Jaegers are walking through the city, and that just looks amazing. It's and again, it's from a grounded perspective where you're people up in a building or people up on the ground, and you can just see like this huge robot just walking through a city street, and barely making it through, and it just looks so good. And it's not overdone. It's just awesome.
Yeah, the fight in Hong Kong. I mean, it starts out in the bay. And you see these robots. I mean, this is, continental shelf type thing, and they're, waist deep. So obviously you get a sense of scale, how massive these robots are. And then they get into the city, and here are these 60-story skyscrapers, and these robots are duking out these monsters and being slammed into these things, and they're just as tall as these, I don't know, I guess 60-story, whatever. But you definitely get a sense of scale. With that versus the Transformer stuff where it's robots always fighting robots, and occasionally you'll see a human scurrying around on them, but I mean it's there's so much, you never really get a sense of space or time with the Michael Bay films, whereas you get that more with the Guillermo del Toro films. So it really lends itself better to the massive scale of these robots. It really makes them feel huge and epic, and then the monsters that they're fighting also similarly equally huge, massive, epic.
But yeah, I think a few kind of small criticisms is there's the love interest with the I guess her name is Riko Kikuchi. There's not much chemistry between her and Charlie Hunnam, and they spend a decent amount of time on that. But you can't do much about that if there's no chemistry. But
well, even so, I mean, it feels there's sort of a love interesty kind of thing there, but at the same time, they don't throw it in your face and they don't treat it as sort of like a playground infatuation kind of thing, the way that Michael Bay seems to treat all of the relationships in his films.
Right.
You've got these two people who are sort of uncertain of one another, at odds, plus it never fully sort of explodes into a full-on love interesty relationship. You can tell that there's something going on there that between the two characters, maybe not the actors, but the two characters at least, there's some chemistry. But the relationship and how that plays out between the two of them isn't, it's not
brilliant. But
Yeah, it's not brilliant, but it's a
wild.
damn sight better than how it's treated in The Last Night.
Yeah, I would agree with that. It's just a few small things. The score is pretty good. It's
Yeah.
by that Ramin Djawadi, who is I think he did the score for Game of Thrones. He's done like a ton of movies, and he has a very interesting sound. And so it's some cool guitars, and like it's just again like kind of gets you into it.
Yeah.
It's and so I do like that a lot. I think there's a chunk in the latter half where it kind of there's not much action, and so I think it kind of drags. And so if there's a point where I think I was starting to get a little bored, it would be in that maybe latter half. But otherwise, it's very engaging for the most part.
Yeah.
It goes from action scene to just non-action, but it's still interesting for the most part. And then there's the Charlie Day character, who I'm not a huge fan of Charlie Day.
No.
He kind of gets on my nerves a little bit. But I think the character is interesting. Kind of again another cliche, kind of fascinated with these monsters.
Yeah.
And so then he has the cool tattoos and all that stuff, and so that's interesting. Even though I don't think Charlie Day is amazing in it.
Yeah, well, you've got sort of the rebel scientist, the new agey, oh, I'm so infatuated with these monsters and I find them so fascinating, versus the Gottlieb character, who I guess is more representative of old school hard scientific principle kind of, and he's got his data and he runs his models and all this kind of stuff, and so it's contrapuntal kind of thing between the two of them, a love-hate relationship and that kind of thing. It's very much a cliche. It's very much a trope.
Yeah.
But it's not a harmful trope. It's not a stereotype the way that all of the Michael Bay characters sort of become stereotypes.
Yeah.
And
not aware that they're stereotypes. They're just stereotypes.
Yeah. They are what they are. They're not trying to portray some kind of thing. The characters were much more interesting, much better fleshed out in these films. Whereas in the Michael Bay, even if they are comic book tropes, even if they are sort of cliches, they're handled in a way. And I mean, the film again is sort of self-aware of what it is. It's just a robot film based on a comic book, which is fine. And the Michael Bay, the Transformer films, he keeps trying to elevate them into sort of this modern mythology.
Yeah.
And I mean, none of these films has he done that more so than in this last one, where he obviously is bluntly tying it into, in a very awkward fashion, the Arthurian legend.
Yeah. It's not tied in at all well. It's just kind of put there,
Yeah, it's like a bad splice. It's just sort of slam and
like
smash them together. And
I just feel like he's just thinks, oh, that would be so cool to
Yeah.
do that. Let's do it. And the producer's like, oh, sure, Michael.
whatever you want, Michael.
Sure, buddy.
Here's some money.
Yeah,
Make it happen.
here's a glass of milk and some cookies. And
Some cookies.
yeah, and so yeah, it's and I guess we should say that it's this Pacific Rim. It wasn't that. It was kind of somewhat of a box office flop. I mean, it made a couple $100 million, but the budget was obviously quite high. I think it was pretty well received critically.
It was definitely better received critically than some of these other films. And again, I think because that self-awareness of what it is. It's a robot film. It's got some characters. There is some character development, but it doesn't try to overshadow the sort of robot fighty aspect of it. And it doesn't try to transcend its robot fighty nature to become some sort of modern mythologizing, which is what Michael Bay is trying to do,
but fails.
and it just turns. I mean, come on.
Come on,
It's a film property based on toys. These are toys
Yeah.
I played with as a kid. They'll never be anything more than toys.
Yeah.
And so don't turn it into modern mythology. It's fun. It's supposed to be fun. And then he turns it into these giant, massive, plotting, dark robots fighting for their lives against, no, I mean, just go and have some fun, and they duke it out. And I mean, the first film was like that.
Yeah.
And then it kept, the longer he's taken it serious, the more he's gone into this sort of modern Transformer mythology thing, and it's just don't do that.
Yeah.
It's preposterous.
And this, it's just like a few kind of visual shots. There's because after the fight at the beginning in the ocean, so one of the robots is injured and something goes wrong, and there's this shot in the snow where you see this guy and his dog or his son or someone, and this massive robot just kind of comes through the fog and then smashes down on the ground in the snow, and it looks awesome. And then there are a few other destruction scenes, like where one of the monsters slams on a bridge. I think it's maybe near the beginning as well. And just shots like that.
I think was that the flashback to the fight in Sydney.
It must have been, yeah. And it kind of reminds me of Godzilla a little bit, the Gareth Edwards one, where you do really get that sense of scale because it is so grounded in human perspective, I guess.
Right.
And so they are doing a sequel to this coming out next year called, I guess it's Pacific Rim Uprising. Yeah. And it has John Boyega from Star Wars: The Force Awakens, but it's being directed by the Daredevil showrunner, Stephen DeKnight, I think, and it's only being produced by Del Toro. So I don't know how different that's going to be.
Do you know who's writing it?
I think it's had a couple of rewrites, actually.
Has it? Okay. Because Del Toro actually had a co-writing credit for that first one.
Yeah.
And if he's only involved in a producer capacity, it could still end up good. But then again, part of that self-awareness of what it is, giant robot fighting film, comes from Del Toro and his working so closely with fantasy and science fiction, those kinds of things, and the way that he's able to weave that into his films without it, in such a way that it doesn't seem hokey.
Yeah, exactly.
So, which is, the nice thing about Pacific Rim is it avoids being hokey because, again, it's stuff like, it knows what it is. And Del Toro knows what it is, and he doesn't try to take it beyond that. And when a film tries to make itself something that's not, that's when it becomes hokey, a la Michael Bay films. So, a la that horrible Battleship thing. What was that?
Wait, the Battleship movie?
The Battleship movie.
Peter Berg,
starring Rihanna and
oh, jeez, no.
Yeah.
So no, I don't mind.
Tyler Kitsch.
Yeah. I don't mind Peter Berg's some of his movies like Lone Survivor, Patriots Day, Deepwater Horizon.
Yeah, Lone Survivor was spectacular.
I think he was like because he kind of wants to be Michael Bay. He kind of has the similar shots, but he's just a little more grounded. Yeah. So usually it works. Because he takes kind of the tidbits from Michael Bay, some of the cliches, and then uses them in his own way, and that's interesting.
Yeah. Well, see, that's the thing. That's what's so awesome about Lone Survivor is rather than, SEAL Team 6 out in the woods in Afghanistan and then lots of explosions. No, he keeps it as realistic and gritty. There's gunfire, somebody's shot, bam, that's it, they're dead. It's not like they're shot and then a gas tank explodes. Yeah. That's not how human anatomy works. So, I think his films are considerably more grounded.
Yeah, and the sound in his movies are always very good. Well, like the gunshots in Lone Survivor, when there's explosions and gunfights in Patriots Day, and then in Deepwater Horizon, all the sounds of the oil rig exploding and all the gears and pipes and everything, that all sounds fantastic. More than I think other directors would do. He makes a point of making it good. So, so Pacific Rim is just getting back to it. It's a fun movie. It's definitely underrated, I would say, compared to a lot of other movies out there or blockbusters at least. And
it's no classic of modern cinema, not by any means, but it is fun. It's a good popcorn flick. Yeah, it's a well-rounded. It doesn't bog you down in 2 hours and 45 minutes of drab, washed-out robot fighting. And honestly, the personality of the Jaegers, of the robots in Pacific Rim, even though they're piloted and they're not independent characters in and of themselves, the robots, the Jaegers, have more character than a lot of the Transformers.
Definitely. And then because then you get to know the pilots of the Jaegers, but you kind of get short glimpses of them because they're kind of treated like rock stars, quote unquote.
Yeah.
And some of them are just, again, cliches, but they're interesting cliches and they're cool cliches.
Yeah.
Like these two people like strut off the, out of the factory, and they're just like kind of look like badasses. And
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
the Russian couple who pilot,
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking
Cherno
of.
Alpha, and then you've got the triplets who pilot the Chinese.
Yeah,
mech,
definitely, yeah,
And
it's
then
an-
you've got the Australian guys, the father and the son. The father who's he's been around the block, he's seen it all, he's very well grounded, and the son who he's trying to sort of keep under wraps, who's like a cocky little bastard and great pilot, yeah, but he's all the more arrogant for it.
Yeah.
And so it's they have sort of distinct personalities, which and it doesn't throw them in your face and then take them away. It sort of says, here's some pilots, here's some distinct personalities, but we're not going to try to build them into the human backstory for all
Yeah.
this. Here they are, they're fascinating, and we're going to leave it at that. And again, sort of as a counterpoint to the Michael Bay films, where he throws in characters and says, you should become deeply invested in this character. Here's this Isabella character, isn't she awesome? I'm going to take her out until the last 10 minutes.
Yeah. And it's also, because in comparing the tones, so I mean, Pacific Rim it's kind of dark at times, but you kind of feel like, okay, the world is ending,
Yeah.
characters kind of need to be serious, but the film itself doesn't feel that serious, but what the characters are doing feels,
Yeah,
they're treating it realistically,
right.
whereas Michael Bay is all over the place, and you couldn't care less.
Yeah.
Yeah. But other than that, yeah, but I am looking forward to the sequel. And I don't know, Brady, do you have anything else about it?
No, I mean it was a fun film. When I first saw it, I went in and watched it, and I wasn't overly impressed, because if you've seen one Japanese manga anime robot fighting thing, you've essentially seen Pacific Rim.
Yeah.
However, in retrospect, as I've watched it a couple of other times since the theatrical release, it's grown on me, because it is fun. It
Yeah.
doesn't take itself too seriously. You do become somewhat invested in the main characters, but their backstory doesn't bog you down. It doesn't turn into this ludicrous human interest thing. It doesn't smack you in the face with this relationship dynamic, this sexual tension between the Charlie Hunnam and the Rinko Kikuchi characters.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more lighthearted.
Yeah,
Which is
definitely.
what you want from a film like that, is you want something lighthearted that you can actually enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
And that's,
You can actually have fun with.
yeah,
you know?
you can actually have fun with.
And that's weird to say nowadays, but it's true.
Yeah.
Every blockbuster, even something like Power Rangers, which I just got the 4K of, I'm actually kind of excited for that. Just Batman v Superman, most of the comic book movies, all of them. All right, we need to make this adult-oriented, serious. We need to bring up, very provocative, complex themes.
Right.
You need to take it seriously, and it's not always that fun usually. Occasionally, every once in a while, it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But with this, it's just, go have some fun. And
Yeah.
it's not overly long. I think it's like 2 hours
Yeah.
ish. Maybe a little long, but
Give or take a little bit. I mean, it's not a 2.5 hour, 2 hour,
Slog.
45-minute slog fest.
yeah.
Like Age of Extinction. I mean, they called it Age of Extinction because most of the audience
Everybody
was extinct
died.
by the end of the
Yeah.
film. So
There's actually in the theater for the last night, there was a couple, or not a couple, of these two teenage, maybe 20-year-old girls sitting in a few rows in front of me. Near the end, I could tell one girl's eyes were kind of dropping up and down.
so they actually stayed past the Mark Wahlberg bearing his abs bit.
Yeah.
They weren't there strictly
Yeah, they
for
stayed.
that.
Yeah, it seemed like everyone stayed, but it didn't seem like anyone was enjoying themselves.
Yeah, well,
Unsurprisingly. So.
yeah, that's a Michael Bay film for you. Go for the special effects. Stay out of lack of anything else better to do.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I think we can go ahead and wrap that one up. What are you going to give that at 4 stars, Brady?
Out of 4 stars, I'd give it 2, 2.5, 2. Yeah, a solid 2, 2.5.
All right. I'll go hard 3, maybe light 3.5. I don't know. Maybe
Really?
a 4 out of 5 on Letterboxd. Oh, for listeners who don't know, if you are like a cinephile at all, get a Letterboxd account. Braden, you should get one.
Yeah.
It's free, very easy to use. and you can follow people, what they're watching, what you're watching, do all these fun things. If you're a film person of any kind, definitely get a Letterboxd account. Anyways,
that would be something I look into. Then.
yeah, and I'm on there, so you can follow what we're watching and everything, and so just so you know. But okay, so hope you enjoyed the reviews, and again, sorry for any technical difficulties. We've had a very odd string of loud sounds, fire trucks, all of that. It's very strange. And so anyways, so let's move on to some discussion pieces. And so some of them are just recent news pieces that I thought would be interesting to bring up. But so David Fincher, who's my favorite director and who directed Social Network, Gone Girl, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, Fight Club.
The fourth Alien film.
Third.
Third.
I'm
sorry. Yeah.
Alien,
the fourth was Jean-Paul Genet.
Alien Cubed.
Alien
as a
Cubed.
word.
Okay.
Who is a, he doesn't really do blockbusters per se. I mean, Gone Girl made a
Gone Girl was pretty big.
Yeah, but in terms of blockbuster, like a Pacific Rim movie.
Yeah,
his movies make a lot of money.
Summer popcorn films.
Yeah,
he's not.
But anyway, so he has been, as far as I know, hired to direct World War Z 2. And so, the World War Z is the zombie blockbuster with Brad Pitt from a few years ago. And it's getting a sequel since it did, I think, pretty well at the box office. But David Fincher is now directing it, which is a very interesting change.
Yeah.
Because his next project is he's directing the first 2 episodes of a Netflix show coming up. But I never really thought he would ever do what you call a summer blockbuster. And I kind of wish he would go back and do like the Girl with the Dragon Tattoo sequel instead. But
well, yeah, I would like to see that as well. Largely for his direction, because I really love the English language version that he did.
yeah, same.
And also the chemistry between Daniel Craig and Rooney Mara was spectacular.
Yeah.
But I'd like to see him do that. I'm uncertain what to make of him doing this because I kind of liked the Alien film that he did. So obviously he has a bit of experience working with sort of the non-human drama thriller type films, but I mean that Alien film that he directed was good. It was interesting, but it wasn't that first one that really Scott did.
Of course.
But,
or Aliens.
or Aliens, which
Is the Pacific Rim of the Alien trilogy.
yeah, James Cameron. It was a fun action flick.
Yeah.
Very, very different genre from the first film, but succeeded, I guess, on its own merits as an action flick.
Mm-hmm.
But I love Fincher. I really enjoyed Social Network. I really enjoyed Dragon Tattoo. I even liked Gone Girl, which I don't think was his strongest effort. It was his biggest commercial success.
I would think so, yeah.
But compared to Social Network and Dragon Tattoo, I still think
it's below.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he obviously has the directing chops, and he did a fairly decent job with Alien Cubed, as you call it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't zombie flick. First of all, no more zombie flicks.
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I don't know.
All the zombie flicks?
I mean, The Walking Dead kind of both saved and ruined
Yeah.
zombie movies. Because then, like, when Walking Dead came out, everybody wanted to do zombies because we can
Right.
make money off it. And so we're getting some good ones, some bad ones. But now The Walking Dead has been going on so long.
Right.
And it's just been done to death. You just like,
Now they've
get it out of here.
They've got a spin-off too, don't they? Fear the Walking Dead, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And so now it's just sort of zombies.
And you don't really care.
And the first film was interesting and fascinating, and why do they need to do a second? But then again, that's Hollywood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is profitable. Let's do another one.
Yeah.
So if they know that a property is going to make money, I guess they stick with it because they know they can make money. And that's kind of the bottom line of the film industry. So.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm sure Fincher, because he dropped out of Steve Jobs, the Steve Jobs movie that was going to be with Christian Bale because they wouldn't pay him $10 million, and I guess also creative differences,
Right.
that's been a recent thing, creative differences,
Right.
like with the Han Solo movie and all that. And so my guess is he's getting a huge fucking paycheck for this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure the budget is going to be massive, but I'm sure he's not. He's probably going to be getting, because I don't think he would get onto this unless he had control,
Right.
in one way or the other. And so that's what I'm hoping that's a good thing. I mean, because his direction, I guess, if you haven't seen many of his movies, it's very cynical stories and characters, and it's very his direction is very defined, and it's
Well,
like Kubrickian in a way.
Yeah. Well, what I like so much about his films is they're all sort of about dysfunctional people and their dysfunctional relationships and how manipulative and strange and sinister and cynical people can be. I mean, that's largely what Social Network was about Mark Zuckerberg, pinching this idea from these other guys, and then, it may not have been his idea originally, but then he blew it up,
Expanded,
and then all the sort of corporate backstabbing and double dealing and all that kind of stuff that happened at the inception of Facebook.
Yeah.
And, Gone Girl, obviously, the Rosamund
That's
Pike character.
manipulating
Yeah.
people, and then I mean, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo to an extent, like with the serial killer,
Right.
and manipulating all these innocent young women,
Right,
and all
exactly.
that, and also Elizabeth Slander being
She was
manipulated
manipulated by her social worker,
the
creepo.
and just society in general.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, that's a very interesting. And one thing I love about Fincher is his attention to detail.
Right.
He loves details, and like in Zodiac is the perfect. Oh yeah, we have
Zodiac.
you brought that
Another
up.
brilliant film.
Yeah.
Jake Gyllenhaal, so good. in that.
Yeah. Whereas like that movie is all about information
Right.
and like how that passes, and that could be an absolute mess
Mm-hmm.
in the hands of someone not as talented as him.
Right.
But it's fantastic.
Yeah, it really is. It
You,
really
you don't you don't need to absorb every detail, but you get this is information passing from one place to another, blah 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 blah, and it's
Yeah.
so fascinating.
Well, that's what he does so well. Is he portrays the humans, those personalities, so well in the film, and it doesn't become bogged down. It doesn't become mired in sort of the I'm gonna solve a puzzle. It's not like, hey, let's make the Da Vinci Code with Jake Gyllenhaal. It's
Yeah, exactly.
It's more driven by the characters in the film. That's what he does so well. Is these sort of character studies. It takes these really strange people and really explores them to their fullest.
And what something else is obsession. He has which Zodiac is like that's people being obsessed with things. Like
Right.
Jake Gyllenhaal is absolutely obsessed with finding the killer.
Right.
Elizabeth Slander
Is obsessed with uncovering the truth, and the
and-
same with the Daniel Craig character.
Yeah. And so I'm interested how that's going to play out in a zombie movie. I'm hoping that he has.
Well, see, that's why I'm a little skeptical. Is so much of what makes the Fincher films so good is the interplay between these very different, very strong, and often dysfunctional personalities. Whereas World War Z, the first one was good, but it's Brad Pitt versus the horde of zombies. There's no sort of interpersonal kind of.
Yeah, it's not really that memorable. It's just, I mean, it's a decent.
It's a decent zombie flick for what it is, and it's got some cool special effects and stuff. Hordes of zombies. What was it? Scaling the Wailing Wall or something like that.
In Jerusalem.
Jerusalem. And there were some really interesting special effects, but it was a decent zombie movie, but it wasn't really anything to write home about. I guess it did enough money that they're doing another one, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I think it made about 500, just over 500 million.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't. It's not going to change the course of Western cinema.
No.
I'll put it that way.
Yeah. And so I'm not sure. I think it's like 2018. I think when that's supposed to be coming out, but
Yeah.
I'm curious for sure.
The zombie flick that I still think is definitive. I mean, other than the Romero stuff, particularly what was it, Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
The ones that I think were really spectacular is the one, what was it, 28 weeks later?
There's 28 Days Later and 28 Weeks Later.
The first one, 28 Days Later. That was
And I
spectacular.
actually really like 28 Weeks Later. It feels more. I mean, 28 Days Later is more complex, but I think 28 Weeks Later has plenty of great horror moments. It's just constantly unsettling and very good action.
Yeah.
Sure, it's shallow, but it's
Yeah.
it's still very effective. But I think 28 Days Later is better. And
Yeah,
many
I
respects.
really like 28 Days Later because it's very similar in a sense to Alien.
Yeah.
Because it's humans, and they're set against this entity, this thing. You know, in one film it's the alien, in another film it's the growing zombie plague.
Mm-hmm.
But it's they're not quite sure what's happening, and they're in a. It's the stillness. It's the stillness. It's all those scenes in Alien of the stillness, hunting down the alien in the big holds of the ship, and then in World War Z, 28 Days Later, you've got all the stillness of these survivors looking for food, banding together, and so it's the fear, that anxiety, that fear of something coming for you, rather than the sort of visceral scare that you get. Oh, I'm slicing and stabbing and pounding zombies with a baseball bat. Oh, I'm fighting the alien. No, it's where is it? What's going on? It's more of an anxiety-induced fear than it is a fighting for your life-induced fear. So, but David Fincher, I like him a lot. But again, I don't know that a World War Z film would necessarily play to his strengths as a director.
Yeah, I mean, he has worked with Brad Pitt twice. Three times. Fight Club, Seven, and Benjamin Button.
Oh, right.
So I'm sure that'll be a good partnership. You know? And also in terms of him shooting action. Well, no, there's action in Benjamin Button. There's that World War II scene, which is pretty good actually. Yeah. And so I don't think he can't do action, but my guess is there will probably be a decent amount of action in this movie. Yeah. So that will be I'm hoping a good change for him. Yeah. But yeah, so more power to him. And hopefully that's good. All right, so then there's a question actually got sent in from another friend of mine, so I appreciate you doing this. So he asked, just out of curiosity, who's the most promising up-and-comer director in Hollywood right now, do you think? Like, and I mean, not necessarily like Fincher, because he's already well-established, but someone who's he doesn't have to be young, but someone who's just kind of starting to get his name out there, like almost like Denis Villeneuve with Blade Runner 2049 and Arrival and Prisoners and Enemy. He's he just kind of shot up out of nowhere, and now he's this auteur, and he's about to be a huge blockbuster director, I'm sure, because of Blade Runner. But someone like that, I would say is.
See, that's the thing is I'm not as familiar with a lot of the young auteur directors out there.
What about like Jeff Nichols?
What is I recognize him?
He did Loving last year, and he did Midnight Special.
Yeah, Loving was spectacular. That was one of my favorite films from last year.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And he did Take Shelter. Have you seen that with Michael Shannon? Oh, that's a good one. But yeah, I think there's. I mean, the thing that we were kind of talking about last week, but it's a lot of people who are being put on these huge movies after doing a small indie movie, for better or worse. Like the guy who did Jurassic World, Colin Trevorrow, did Safety Not Guaranteed, like some indie comedy, and now he did Jurassic World, and then he just did that shitty Book of Henry movie that just came out.
Book of Henry movie?
Yeah, it just. But yeah, and there's also one. We were just talking about him a while back, but Damien Chazelle, who did Whiplash and La La Land, but you refuse to see La La Land, is that right?
Yeah, well, all kinds of reasons. Whiplash, I thought, was absolutely spectacular. And Miles Teller, J.K. Simmons, obviously he won an Oscar supporting actor. I mean, it's, again, the clash of personalities between those two characters is just so astounding. Absolutely spectacular film, very taut in terms of direction. And there's a constant sense of tension. Yeah. Not only between the characters, but the Miles Teller character, and he's so driven and he's always on edge, and just how that's portrayed throughout the film, spectacular. La La Land, I don't know, I haven't seen it, don't care to see it. I like Emma Stone, I like Ryan Gosling.
It's entertaining, but it's kind of been blown out of proportion as being amazing masterpiece, redefining. It's fine, it's enjoyable, it's entertaining, but I don't know if it's as spectacular as, or at least I didn't feel that way. If you think it is, that's fine. Nothing against you, but it just, not as amazing as I hoped it could be.
I mean, what little I heard of the music, it just sounded.
It's a little forgettable for me. And I'm not a huge musical fan, aside from a few. Like I like Sweeney Todd and some others, but the music in it I was not that crazy about. Besides the main theme, like the City of Stars theme, which you kind of hear in the trailers, and I like that. But anyways, but yeah. So I think he's doing a Neil Armstrong biopic with Ryan Gosling. Giselle is, and so that sounds good. I mean, it sounds interesting. Just a Neil Armstrong biopic could be great.
It could be interesting, just as long as it doesn't go for the sort of over the top patriotism, like
Definitely
stuff. And I mean, this sort of a rehashing of what was that old Clint Eastwood thing?
Oh, Space Cowboys.
Yeah. Just
Yeah.
don't
be Space Cowboys. Yeah.
But I mean, he obviously can direct. I don't really care to see La La Land. I think it was probably overblown. Maybe I shouldn't say that because I haven't seen it, but I don't know. Musicals are not really my forte.
Yeah.
But Whiplash was spectacular. So who else you got there?
So we got another one is Alex Garland, who did Ex Machina, the sci-fi
Another
indie
brilliant film. Oscar Isaac.
Awesome. Alicia Vikander. is amazing. She's awesome. I fucking love her.
Gleason.
Domhnall
Gleeson. Yeah, Brendan Gleeson.
Who is hit and miss for me, but I think
Really?
he like in Force Awakens, I thought he was pretty bad.
Really?
Yeah, he just felt like he was in a different movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Huh.
But I mean, usually I like him, like in the Revenant.
Yeah, I
Ex
like it a lot
Machina.
in Revenant.
Yeah. Ex Machina is just a sci-fi indie thriller, but it's so interesting, and it's a thriller, then kind of a horror movie at times, mystery, and he's also wrote the script for Dread, and the movie Dread, and he may have done 28 Weeks Later, 28 Days Later, something like that, maybe. Sounds kind of familiar. Anyways, but I think, and he has some
Dread.
new.
Which is Dread?
It's based off the graphic novel series.
The Judge Dredd,
which is awesome.
The more recent one with Carl Urban.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was considerably better than the original one with Sylvester Stallone.
Oh, definitely.
But again, it seemed to sort of take itself a little too seriously.
Yeah, sure.
But it was still a damn sight better than the horrible thing with Sylvester Stallone, and God only knows why. Rob Schneider. What the hell was that?
Oh God, I don't know.
And then, of course, Diane Lane was in it for, I don't know why.
Yeah.
But there she was.
Then we also have, I don't know if you've seen any of these guys' movies, but Justin Kurzel, who did Macbeth with Michael Fassbender, and he also did Assassin's Creed last year, which I was actually a fan of, even though critics destroyed it. Because I'm a huge fan of the games, and it was interesting, and it was much better directed than I thought it would be.
I didn't have the opportunity to catch that.
I mean, and I think Macbeth is amazing, though. It's a beautiful, it's just violent, and it's fantastic. And so I think he's an interesting choice. And then there's someone like, we were just talking about him, District 9 guy, Neil Blomkamp. Yeah. And I mean, I love District 9. Elysium is cool. Chappie is a little too silly, but it's enjoyable at times. And now he's doing these like short films. Have you heard about this?
No.
So he's directing. He has some, I guess, company or something, and he's directing very short sci-fi movies. I think one just got released called Raka, and it's because he was going to do an Alien sequel, but then Ridley Scott did Alien Covenant, and doing 5 more. And
is he really?
Or he's at least they have plans for 5 more. I don't know. It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I've enjoyed the last few. He's taking it in a very different direction from that first film that he did in the Alien series. The last 2 I thought were interesting, but very drastically night and day different from that first one.
Yeah.
So, but I've enjoyed them. I thought they were really fascinating in terms of the themes that they touch on, particularly the Michael Fassbender character and how creepy, weird he is.
Yeah.
Why do they need to keep going with that? Though I don't know.
I enjoyed Alien Covenant, but I don't need 20 of them.
Neil Blomkamp, I liked. District 9 was brilliant. Elysium was interesting. Not spectacular, but interesting. A bit heavy-handed at times.
Yeah. Another one that took itself a little too seriously.
Yeah, and then you've got the...
Chappie.
Yeah, well, I was just trying to remember that the character... It's the actor that he does all of his films with.
Oh, Charlton Copley.
Charlton Copley, yeah.
Who, in every other movie besides Neil Blomkamp, is horrible.
Really?
He's, like, every performance he does.
Well,
like,
the A-Team, I remember.
Yeah. The Old Boy remake with Spike Lee.
Yeah, I refuse to see that because
Horrendous.
the original Korean one was spectacular.
It's horrendous. He's in Maleficent, and he was actually decent in Free Fire earlier this year, but he just needs to work with Neil Blomkamp, always.
Yeah.
That's all I need.
Well, District 9, I quite liked him in that, but his character in Elysium was just so over the top.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, you don't need a character like that. I mean, you could redo the film and make his character a little different, but it's just, I don't know. Mm-hmm. It was such a over the top, ooh, crazy sociopath, we're running around killing everybody. Okay.
Okay, yeah, all right, we get it.
And then Chappie, I didn't see. Maybe I kind of want to see it again. Interesting ideas in it, and I like that he's not doing science fiction films in the sort of giant robot fisticuffs, laser beam, shooty vein. Again, he's treating science fiction more as potential futures, rather than as action adventure. And so Chappie, I would like to see because of the concept of artificial intelligence and how do you treat.
It's really more like a kids movie, which I think is kind of why it got so destroyed. It's just kind of a little misunderstood. I don't think it's brilliant by any means, but it's fun, and it's definitely a big weird step away from Elysium and District 9. So
yeah, District 9
going in.
was just brilliant. I mean, that was an absolutely innovative film. Elysium, less so. Interesting issues, and I like the fact that it wasn't strictly shooty. I mean, what got me with Elysium, though, is that you could definitely tell it was a more Hollywood influenced film, because whereas in District 9 there was almost no shooty. In Elysium there's big action scenes, action sequences.
And District 9 is almost like a horror movie at times. Like,
in a way,
totally.
yeah.
It's just really interesting, which I didn't really get the first time. But
well, you've got the Charlton Copley character who's kind of in a sense the Fly.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. He's going through this transformation. He doesn't know what it is, but it's sort of this body horror, horrific transformation process.
Like the fingernails and
all that, and then his face and his the whole thing.
And then Elysium has kind of like that, but it's not as much.
No, I mean it's less scary. It's more sort of actiony, and you've got stubbly Matt Damon stomping around with his shaved head.
Yeah,
I
like Matt Damon.
Yeah, I like Matt Damon. I think he's a spectacular actor, and I think he did a very good job in that film. But it just didn't feel quite as awesome.
Complex or interesting.
As that first film.
So I mean, there's definitely, in terms of some other directors, there's Ryan Coogler, who we mentioned, and he directed Creed, and then he's also doing Black Panther, which is kind of what we were just talking about, kind of an indie director doing these huge blockbusters, and how, if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But Creed is a fantastic movie, and it's an interesting Rocky film, and I would say you should check that out.
Yeah, I definitely want to see that. That's on my radar. I wanted to see that in the theater.
And did you see the Black Panther trailer?
It looks awesome.
Yeah. So I think
awesome.
They made the right move with that.
Yeah.
But yes, I mean, I'd say
there's another film which I thought was actually fascinating. Last week I was talking a little bit about how Marvel seems to sort of beat DC to the punch on everything.
Yeah.
Well, DC finally beat Marvel to the punch on something with Wonder Woman, which was a spectacular film.
Definitely.
But that aside, Marvel actually, what is it? Black something. They just started putting another film into production, and they hired black woman to direct it.
Oh, Ava DuVernay?
Yes.
The girl who did, or lady who did Selma?
Yes.
Yeah. She's
Yes.
another one.
And so that was exciting to hear. So
I really enjoyed Selma, so I think she'll do a good
yeah,
job.
it's nice. I mean, it's funny that it's the comic book industry
Yeah.
that all these films are coming out, and they're giving these typically sort of underrepresented directors these huge
Yeah.
vehicles to ply their trade. But it's absolutely fascinating, and I think it's a little funny in a way that these directors are finally coming to public notice in front of
Yeah.
comic book movies.
Because then, if you, 15 years ago or 10 years ago, maybe, people would have been like, fuck that. I'm not directing, some lame, nerdy blockbuster. But now it's just like, no, please let me have...
Well, that's the thing, is they've
know.
done such a spectacular job making these films, and it's not just sort of these massive action sequence set piece things. There's
Yeah.
a lot of story that goes on behind it, and it almost seems as though the story is the driving thing in this, and the big fight sequences are there to embellish the story rather than the story just being there to flesh out action sequences.
And same thing with the actors, all these actors, someone like Benedict Cumberbatch,
Right.
Who is this, classy English actor. Nope, he's going to go be Doctor Strange.
Yeah, exactly.
And Chris Pine and all these people.
Right.
Zoe Saldana, well, I guess Zoe Saldana has been in Star Trek and Avatar, but, a lot of A-listers now. It's because it's like it's its own genre now, a comic book movie.
Yeah, well, I mean, Robert
get-
Downey Jr., you've got Michael Fassbender, James McAvoy in the
Michael
X-Men
Fassbender's-
franchise,
yeah.
right? J-Law in that franchise. And I mean, these are big name people doing these films now, and so it's no longer just sort of throwaway, watch it and forget it type film. These are films that you actually want to stick with, which is why they've been able to do the whole Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's succeeded.
Yeah, and also it's like you sign up for one and you're in 6.
Yeah,
You
exactly.
like
so
Tom
job
Holland,
security.
like Tom Holland, who's the new Spider-Man, gets to be Civil War, Spider-Man: Homecoming. He's going to be in the Infinity War.
Right.
3 sequels. It's just like, oh, I have a career for the next 10 years.
Yeah.
Well, so it's...
That's what I've heard is Chris Evans,
Mm-hmm.
the Captain America character, his contract runs out after, I believe, the 4th Avengers film.
I think he said he's done after that.
But there's been a little scuttlebutt, a little hubbub that he might stick around for some of the films, and there's word of mouth that he might play the mentor character for Tom Holland's Spider-Man.
Huh.
And so it wouldn't be like a full-on contract where he's the main character, continuing role in the Captain America and Avenger films, but he would sort of show up here and there in some of the other franchises that they have now, namely the Spider-Man franchise. So yeah, it's just hearsay. I don't know whether that means that's true or not, but I mean, yeah, if you sign on for one film, you're sort of you're a made man at that point.
Yeah,
So,
definitely. And same thing with Margot Robbie, who's Harley Quinn in Suicide Squad. She's going to be in 5-6 movies or something like that. And so it's just, that's awesome.
Right.
And more power to you. And but yeah, so those are hopefully a decent amount of directors to answer that question. And so the final question, I'm sorry to this listener who sent in the question that we waited until the very end.
Last minute. You have to stick around and listen to all of our schlock.
If you want to hear a listener question, you have to listen to the full episode. Anyways, so this is from Jason from Colorado. This is so awesome, like what we were just talking about. Send in, and if you need to reach us, you have questions, comments, criticisms, hate mail, whatever you want to send us, you can reach us at thefilmbudspodcast@gmail.com. We'd love to hear from you, and we can read your message on the show like we're about to do with this fellow. So anyways, so Jason from Colorado writes, "Hey guys, hope this is the right way to do this, but I came across your first episode a few days ago and was surprised how much I enjoyed it. There are a few times the audio could be tightened up, but I'm sure you'll work on that. So anyways,
Sorry.
Sorry about that. Anyways, I wanted to write in about an issue that's been upsetting me recently. Do you think Johnny Depp's increasing media troubles are ruining his once great career? I've been a fan of Depp ever since the 90s, and I hate to see him willow away by acting even stranger than he already does. And so besides the recent messy divorce and the money spending troubles, do you think he went too far with the Trump assassination joke? thanks. Looking forward to what you do next, Jason from Colorado. Braden, what do you think? Because I'm a huge fan of Johnny Depp. I love the guy. I'll defend him to death.
I've never been a huge Johnny Depp fan. I think he's done some interesting work. Obviously, What's Eating Gilbert Grape.
Mm-hmm.
What was the one last year where he played Whitey Bulger?
Oh, Black Mass?
Yes.
Yeah, good performance.
Awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Great film. I loved him in that. And so he's done some great work. He's never been my favorite, but when he has a good role, and there's a good script, and there's good direction.
Like Ed Wood?
Ed Wood.
Amazing.
Another one. I loved Ed Wood.
Mm-hmm.
Great film. Not in none of Ed Wood's films, obviously. Plan 9 from Outer Space, maybe the worst film ever made. But,
Yeah.
Johnny Depp and in that role playing Ed Wood
was great.
And the whole
Tim
film.
Burton at his prime as well.
Right, yeah. So, I've enjoyed a lot of what Johnny Depp's done, and I think actors, I think it's important. It's crucial for them to have opinions and to express those opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an important thing because they can get out a message. They've got the platform to get out messages about issues which otherwise might not be on people's radars. And I think there are a lot of big name actors who have used that platform rather well.
Mm-hmm.
Angelina Jolie, George Clooney,
Yeah.
right? I'm sure there are others as well who've championed causes. But that being said, I think it's utterly tasteless to make assassination jokes like that. That's improper. You don't do that.
Trump is a fucking turd muncher, but it gets to a point. It's particularly just it being an actor, like someone like Stephen Colbert or Seth Meyers could make that joke maybe and get away with it.
I think it's just tasteless. Anybody making that joke, it's tasteless. I think if you disagree with somebody in that position, you have every right to state your opinions, but I think it's crass, and I think it demeans your not only you, but whatever argument you're making, whatever cause you're trying to convey. I think it demeans that when you make just crass jokes like that, and so I think it's terrible. I think he should not have done that. Do I hope it ruins his career? No, but I think he does need to make a damn sight bit of contrition for that, because it's a thoroughly tasteless joke.
Yeah, and he has apologized apparently for it, but so because now he had the pretty messy divorce with Amber Heard, who's the actress from Pineapple Express and a few other things. She's gonna be in Justice League. So that divorce went horribly.
Yeah.
To put it delicately. Like, I think there was even a few audio clips or video clips of him ranting or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, he and Charlie Sheen could get together.
Yeah, sure.
Winning. I'm a warlock.
Oh, yeah. Fuck yeah. And then his agents have come out and talked about his insane spending with money, and
he bought an island.
Yes.
He bought an island.
Yes,
that was a while ago.
Yeah, but this is like, I think he would be spending $20,000 a month on wine, and it's just stuff like that is insane, and so clearly he's at an issue. Despite my love for the guy, I will see everything he's in, but he's definitely in a bit of a rut, and I think the Trump assassination joke was definitely too much.
Well, I'm wondering if it wasn't some really bad media ploy to maintain attention,
and so
to stay in the public eye, and if that's what it was, there are much better ways to do that.
Yeah.
I think it's just that he's sort of in a sense he's lost touch with reality. Some of these guys do. They have so much money, and then but after Trump winning, a lot of the stuff I've seen from I'm a dyed-in-the-wool liberal.
Same.
But some of the things I've seen these people do, I mean, there's a difference between being a sore loser and just going off the deep end.
Yeah.
And I think, again, it doesn't help anybody's cause, and particularly the Democratic Party's cause, if you're out there like Kathy Griffin
Oh God, the cat
right?
Griffin
And the
thing is
decapitated
brutal.
Trump head.
Yeah, but even that so she shouldn't have done that either. And
Yeah.
sorry, listeners, we're getting a little political here. Political Buds podcast spinoff.
Political Buds.
Yeah. But yeah, so that was like, but then they just destroyed her.
Yeah.
Like she's
Her
like,
career is tanked.
yeah. So
She's-
it's like I didn't like her beforehand, and just because she does this one thing does not mean you need to destroy her. And that,
Yeah.
I think that's one issue with Trump. And so it's
well,
but-
he's known for anybody who crosses his path. He does an absolute scorched earth policy.
Yeah.
Like he
No
would
doubt,
absolutely
for
wreck
sure.
them. I think it's inappropriate. Both what she did and what Johnny Depp has said, I think it's inappropriate. There still needs to be some respect for the office, at least, if not the person.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I would say respect the office, not
And
who's in it. You know.
and as such, if you want to voice discontent or dismay about the president and what he's doing, by all means do that. But do it in such a way that you're not going to undermine your message or undermine your party.
Mm-hmm.
So voice of reason.
Yeah.
Listen to that voice of reason.
Yeah.
Back of
And I think that if he hadn't had the divorce and the spending issues, and he had just said that, it would have been like, okay, that wasn't good, but that's Johnny Depp. He's a little
Yeah.
weird. But with all
Well-
of this, he's tacked that on, and it's just, I think that's driven his case for being, I'm just in a bad place a little too much. We're like, all right,
Yeah.
you got to shape up, or
Well, I'm wondering if it isn't that $20,000 in alcohol he's spending every month.
Yeah.
And he's constantly nursing some sort of hangover, which has completely impaired his reasoning or something.
yeah,
But I mean, yeah, I think he's one of these people who the money he's sort of lost touch with
for sure.
reality.
Because there are times or like articles that would say he'd be making $75 million a year, and it's just someone with that much money, particularly someone who's not really aware of how to handle it, is going
Right,
to destroy
exactly.
himself.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, now he's talked about retiring recently, but he has like 6 or 7 movies lined up on IMDb. Like he's going to be in the Invisible Man remake, which I love.
Oh,
the
yeah.
Invisible Man, the 1933 one, and so I'm excited to see that. But I think if he is going to keep acting for a while, I think he should start doing more supporting roles, no more like Mad Hatter roles, just kind of quirky supporting roles that are
Right.
interesting,
Right.
a little more grounded. And if he wants to embrace his wackiness even more than just do that, but don't take a step down from the media,
Yeah.
public eye.
Get out of unless you've got something important to say and a reasonable, mature way to say it.
Yeah,
Don't be an ass.
because he's already kind of lost his box office draw or appeal.
Yeah.
Like Alice
Well, I
through the
mean-
Looking Glass, Lone Ranger, Dark Shadows. Just a
Uh,
line of. I know some of those I like the Lone Ranger.
What was
but-
that horrible piece of schlock he did last year? What was it with Gwyneth Paltrow?
Oh, Mordecai?
Mordecai.
Oh, that was.
What the hell was
It was,
that?
I don't know, and it flopped hard. And
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Right.
He has a long line.
So I
of,
mean, Black Mass.
that one did okay.
It did okay, but I mean, it was such a fascinating film to watch.
At least it was a critical success.
Yeah.
So
and I see so many of these stars who've gone from schlocky films to doing really excellent work. Matthew McConaughey being, I think, perhaps the biggest success
Yeah.
story. But Johnny Depp seems to be going in the absolute opposite direction. He started off doing some really spectacular films, and every now and again he'll put out something good. But I mean, the bulk of what he's doing now is just schlock.
yeah.
I mean, all those Pirates of the Caribbean.
I like the first 3, but the latter 2 are not good.
I
And he
need to
feels
see
very
it.
uninvested.
I haven't even seen the most recent one,
awful.
which was supposed to, all
Awful.
critics have said it's awful. The first one, ooh, it's fun to watch. And then the second one, okay. Here he is
Yeah.
again with his dreadlocks and his eyeliner. And then the third one, you go, oh my God.
I like the messiness of the third one a lot. It's not perfect. I know it's not amazing, but I do like the.
Yeah.
At least it has Gore Verbinski's direction, which is good.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think he should definitely needs to make a change for sure.
He needs
one way or the other.
He needs a life coach or something to put him back in touch with reality. Just say no more $20,000 a month in wine.
Yeah.
Unless you want to take seriously collecting.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you
Well,
can't.
They did release a huge list of all the things he had bought,
Mm-hmm.
and he owned. It was insane. Like so many movie collectibles and all these things. That's just that's where a lot of the money is going. Just buying things, which I would probably be doing the exact same thing, but
Well, is that because he's sort of a broker? Or he just wants to spend money on just cool shit.
probably that.
Yeah,
Considering
which-
Johnny Depp, his personality, I bet that's probably it.
You know, I mean, that's. If I had that kind of money, I might buy a nice car, a nice computer, a nice house.
Yeah.
And go out to a nice dinner every now and again. But, I mean, having just tons and tons of shit just to have tons and tons of shit makes no sense to me.
Yeah, I'll buy a bunch of Blu-rays, a nice TV, some nice food. That's it.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, I mean, I really because I love him, like I've said, and so I hope he maybe takes a year off or something and kind of gets his head back in the game. But yeah, so definitely the Trump assassination joke. Don't like Trump, but
Yeah.
shouldn't say that anyways.
No. Have respect for the office, if not the person.
Yeah, no matter who you are, that's still not. No, that's no bueno.
Yeah.
No,
No bueno. No bueno. Very much no bueno.
Come on, Johnny Depp, Mr. Johnny Depp.
I think he's. I wonder if it's that he spent so much time in all these sort of wacky roles, right? Playing the disjointed pirate captain, playing the disjointed Indian mystic, Native American mystic.
Lone Ranger?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Lone Ranger, right? He plays Tonto.
Mhm.
Playing the disjointed investigator in Mordecai.
Yeah.
And I mean, whether something hasn't fundamentally snapped in his brain somewhere.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but
Yeah.
I think I mean, is this the culmination of all the stress and anxiety he's going through with all these other problems, or is this just symptomatic of something else?
Mhm.
And all of these things are just a steady
Decline.
accumulation
Yeah.
of or what's the word I'm looking for? Build up. I don't know. I can't think of the word right now. But
Fuck it.
is this the? I guess is this a product of, or is this a symptom of something else? I mean, what is going on in his mind? And I, he needs somebody, some help, professional help. Seek professional help.
Yeah.
But I mean, this kind of statement is it's not in keeping with the highest practices or the highest standards.
For sure.
And if somebody of his stature has that platform to make messages like that, then they need to do so in a thoughtful and
Smart way.
yeah, intelligent way.
I mean, because obviously the media is going crazy with Trump. Obviously, that's.
Yeah.
I think they say it was more than any other president,
Mhm.
which is no surprise. But you still need to be somewhat smart about it. So,
Yeah.
You know. Yeah. So hopefully he'll get his shit back together and he'll have a prosperous latter career.
Yeah.
The rest of his career.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Well, he just needs to take more of the Whitey Bulger roles and stay away from the crazy pirate / mystic / investigator / whatever.
Yeah.
So
Sorry, I just got an email there. Yeah, and so that's why I'm hopeful for The Invisible Man. I think that could be interesting. Even though The Mummy wasn't very good, I think he could be an interesting part to that.
well, we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, exactly. We'll see
So,
with all these
I mean,
movies.
the first one didn't set the bar very high.
Not at all.
But then again, if that's what the rest of them are going to be like,
What's the point?
what's the point?
What's the fucking point? Yeah. Well, all right. I think that's about all we got for today. Thanks for everyone for sticking with us and dealing with all the difficulties. We're going to work on that again since we're all new to this and we're in weird places from time to time. So thank you for bearing with us. But yeah, so just the last few things. So next week we're going to be talking about Baby Driver, Edgar Wright's Baby Driver, and then probably either Okja, the new Bong Joon-ho movie that's coming on Netflix, I guess tomorrow, or maybe The Beguiled, the Sofia Coppola movie, or maybe another retro review, something like that. But we're definitely going to be talking Baby Driver because we'll have a buddy of mine over Skype who's a huge right head and would love to talk to us about it. He's going to come with us over Skype, so you can be looking forward to that because he's a really cool guy. And Will Davies will be back with us. We may have someone else as well. And Brayden, are you still deciding if or are you going to be busy?
It depends. I don't know.
All right.
My schedule changes regularly, but if I can make it, I will definitely be here.
Cool.
So
We'd love to have you. So
it makes me go out and watch movies, which I should be doing anyways.
yeah,
So.
everybody should be doing that. Go out and watch movies, even though these movies are absolute garbage that we've been talking about lately. Go see something at least.
Maybe not these movies.
Yeah, not everything but the ones we're talking about.
Yeah.
Just go see the others. Because everyone should be a movie person. Go watch movies. It's fun to go to a theater and just escape for a couple hours. You'd be surprised. And don't be worried about going to see a movie by yourself. I love going to movies by myself. It's the best thing.
Yeah.
If you need a time to relax, go. You're not weird. You may be weird. I'm weird, but
I'm definitely weird.
Yeah.
I've made my peace with that.
yeah. So go out and see movies by yourself. Have fun with it, and enjoy the summer. And it's fucking hot, so do that.
Yep.
Escape. But okay. Well, thanks for joining us. And I guess we will see you all next week. We'll see you later.